Have you ever wondered how some people seem to make their money grow, almost like magic? Well, today, we're going to crack the code on one of the most powerful ideas in the entire world of finance, compound interest. Let's get into it.
So just think about this for a second. What if your money wasn't just sitting there? What if it was actually out there working for you 24/7, making more money? And no, this isn't some magic trick or a get-rich-quick scheme. It's a real principle that's key to how wealth is actually built. Let's make this super simple. Imagine you put $100 into a savings account that earns 2% interest. After 1 year, you've got $102. Easy enough, right? But the real magic, that happens in year 2 and year 3 and so on.
And that, right there, is the power of compounding. It's so much more than just a math term. It's like a secret superpower that your money has, one that can help you build for your future.
Okay, so here's where things get really interesting. And it's a super common point of confusion. With simple interest, you'd only ever earn interest on that original $100. It's predictable, sure, but it's slow. With compound interest, though, in year 2, you're earning interest on the new total. That's $102. You're literally earning interest on your interest, and that's the game changer.
My favorite way to think about this is like a snowball rolling down a really big hill. It starts off tiny, right? But with every single turn, it picks up more snow, getting bigger and bigger and faster. That's exactly what compounding does for your money.
So if we were to put a textbook definition on it, that's what it is. Compound interest is calculated on your starting amount, the principal, plus all the interest you've already piled up. That's the fuel for that snowball effect we were just talking about.
And this is the engine that makes it all work. Okay, deep breath. I know, formulas can look a little scary, but trust me, every single letter in there has a job, and we're about to break it all down so it makes perfect sense.
All right, theory is great, but the best way to really get this is to just do it. So I'm going to walk you through a problem from start to finish. I'll even talk you through what I'm thinking every step of the way.
For every single one of these problems, we're going to follow the same 4-step game plan. First, we hunt for the information we need. Second, we plug it into the formula. Third, we do the math. And fourth, we just double-check to make sure our answer makes sense. Let's give it a try. Okay, let's meet Lydia. She's investing $4,000 in an account with an annual interest rate of 1.5%, and it's compounded semi-annually. The question is, how much will she have in 2 years? Let's use our formula to find out. First things first, step 1, we got to identify our variables. Let's start with P for principal. That's just a fancy word for the starting amount. In Lydia's case, she started with $4,000. So P is $4,000. Easy.
Next up is R, the interest rate. The problem gives us 1.5%. Now here's a super important step you can't forget. The formula needs this as a decimal, not a percentage. To do that, you just divide by 100. So 1.5% becomes 0.015.
Okay, now for N. This one tells us how many times a year the interest gets calculated. You have to look for the keyword, and in this problem, it's semi-annually. That just means 2 times a year. So for us, N equals 2.
And the last piece of the puzzle is T for time, in years. The problem says 2 years, so T equals 2. And just like that, step 1 is done. See? Not so bad?
All right, now for the fun part. Step 2, we substitute. We're just going to take all those numbers we found and plug them right into their spots in the formula. So A equals 4,000 times, you can see the rest there. Now it's just a calculator problem.
And when you punch all of that in, you get $4,121.36. That's the total amount Lydia will have in her account after just 2 years. We just figured out exactly how her money grew. Okay, so you've seen how I did 1. Now it's our turn to tackle 1 as a team. I'll set up the problem, and then I'm going to ask you to pause and try a few things on your own. Ready?
Here's our next scenario. Tiffany has $10,000 to invest. The interest is 6.75%, compounded quarterly, and she's leaving it in for 10 years. Take a second to read it over.
All right, you know the drill. Step 1 is all about finding our variables. So, what are the values for P and R? Go ahead and hit pause, figure it out, and come right back when you're done.
Hey, welcome back. How'd it go? If you said that P, the principal, is $10,000 and R, the rate, is 0.0675, you are absolutely right. Great job.
Awesome. Let's finish up step 1. All we have left are N and T. You know what to do. Hit pause again and find those last 2 values.
That's it. The keyword quarterly is our big clue. It means 4 times a year, so n equals 4, and the time is 10 years. Perfect. Now you have every single piece you need to solve this problem.
You've seen one, we've done one together. Now it's your moment. Time for you to put it all together and really show what you've learned. Okay, here is your problem. Vincent is investing $3,000. I want you to read it carefully, follow those 4 steps we've been using, and work through it all on your own.
Before you dive in, just a couple of friendly reminders. Don't forget to switch that percentage over to a decimal. And look for that keyword quarterly. Again, that's going to tell you what n is. Just follow our process step by step. You can totally do this.
All right, let's zoom out for a minute. We've been pretty deep in the numbers, but I wanted to end by talking about why this isn't just some random formula you have to memorize for a test. This is one of the most practical math concepts you'll ever come across.
When it all boils down, the big takeaway is simple. Compound interest lets your money make more money. It's the engine that's going to drive your long-term savings, whether you're putting away a little bit or a lot. Look, at the end of the day, getting this formula isn't really about passing a test. It's about understanding a fundamental tool that you can use to build a stronger financial future for yourself. Whether you're saving up for a car, for college, or even for retirement way down the road, compound interest is one of the most powerful friends you can have. And that's a lesson that's absolutely worth learning.